few months back there were concerns about declining video game sales this year as many of these games boomed in the coronavirus era but now face the grim prospect of a recession. In fact, CNBC even published an article that stated the global games and services market is forecast to contract 1.2% year-on-year to $188 billion in 2022. It was solidified by the bombs that we saw this year like Saints Row, Gotham Knights, Crossfire X, Babylon's Fall. Take-Two stock dropped more than 15% in extended trading on Monday after the company said its outlook in the current quarter and in early 2023 would be significantly lower than previously expected. In fact, GTA 5, world's biggest game, for the first time sold less than 1 million copies this quarter. It used to do at least 5 million in last few quarters. But things are changing now. In last couple of months, PS5 published an article stating Sony has sold over 25 million PS5s. The console's performance has been held back due to stock shortages. Nevertheless, it is the most lucrative console to reach 2 million sales. Last 2 months saw the release of some of the biggest video game franchise and re-release of patched Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 continues to sell, reaching a new milestone. The sci-fi RPG released in 2020 has now sold more than 20 million copies, according to a tweet from the game's official Twitter account Wednesday. This comes a week after there were more than 1 million players jumping on the game. CD Projekt said earlier this month that Cyberpunk 2077 was attracting over 1 million players daily. In fact, it becomes Steam's top-selling game, 22 months after launch. But Cyberpunk was just the starter. The sales records has been continuously getting shattered since then. First of the list is the biggest franchise in video game history, Call of Duty. Call of Duty: Modern Warfare 2 passed $1 billion in sales in less than 2 weeks of release. Sales of the new title are 42% up compared with Vanguard, and nearly 9% up over Call of Duty: Black Ops Cold War from 2020. This is an extraordinary number and represents a real return to form for Call of Duty, especially after the lackluster performance of Vanguard in 2021. The next release was God of War Ragnarök. Sony's God of War Ragnarök is a record breaker for PlayStation. The game sold 5.1 million copies during its launch week to set a new record for the fastest-selling first-party launch game in PlayStation history, the company announced on social media. The AAA action title, released on November 9th, has become a commercial and critical success. In addition to exceptional sales numbers, it currently holds a 94% score on Metacritic. If that was not enough, came the juggernaut Pokémon Scarlet and Violet, which sold 10 million copies in first 3 days, thereby making it the highest global sales for any game on any Nintendo platform within the first 3 days. To put that number in perspective, the last mainline entries in the series, Pokémon Sword and Shield, only sold 2 million copies in their first 2 days. The next big release will be Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is set to release on December 7th. Marvel's Midnight Suns is an upcoming tactical role-playing game developed by Firaxis Games in collaboration with Marvel Games. The expectations are high and we hope it will not disappoint and will post huge numbers and sales record. That's all from our side. Please like and subscribe to get notification and latest news on video game industry.